There's no need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want, let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip with you? Leaning on fire.
Hi guys, welcome. Guys, today was a story, right? A lot of technical difficulties. Don't know what's going on with the internet, right? Don't know what's going on with the internet, but I'm here, right? And as we say, first of all, let me just start it off properly, right? Let me start it proper. Welcome back to another episode of AJAWI TV, where we discuss architectural and construction related topics. I'm your host, I'm AJAWI. Welcome guys, welcome. I'm just gonna give you guys a few minutes to get in the building. As I said, I have been having a little technical difficulty. No fault of mine, right? No fault of mine. It's just the internet. The internet is giving me a lot of stress at the moment, right? So just bear with me. All right? So today we're going to be talking about rainwater harvesting, right? Rainwater harvesting, and this is a topic that I believe is very important. Very important because water is very important, as we all know. So it's important that we make preparations, do the things that are necessary in order to really have water readily available to us, right? Have water readily available to us. So I decided to do some research over the weekend or over the week to really give you guys a presentation basically on rainwater harvesting. So that's what today will be about, rainwater harvesting, and the things that you probably need to know as a homeowner. So if you're hearing me, you can comment in the comment section. If you're not hearing me properly, again, you can comment in the comment section and let me know that you're not hearing me. The reason why I'm a little bit late as well is because, technical difficulties with the program. The link towards YouTube is not really working that well, so it always gives me a little problem when I am supposed to get on. So that was the reason for that. So, for those that are here, big up yourself. I really appreciate it. For those that are just coming in, big up yourself as well. Mark Q. Spencer here, big up yourself. It's a Sunday, so I want to say big up to those that are joining me on a Sunday. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So what do you consider as rainwater harvesting? Right? What do you consider as rainwater harvesting? Comment in the comment section. To you, what are the requirements? What do you really need to know in order to set up rainwater harvesting for your home, right? Or even office space. Maybe you're doing it for an office space, who knows? But I mainly focus on residential properties, so that's what I will more likely be speaking about most of the times. So you can tell me, what do you consider as rainwater harvesting? All right? Yeah, Mark, I agree with that 100%. Guys, as you come in, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, because it does encourage, right? I really appreciate it. It gives me inspiration to bring you new content, to bring you better content. to upgrade the thing and make sure say we're presenting information that you would like. All right. Alright, yeah, what is rainwater harvesting? So, rainwater harvesting is really the collection of the obvious rainwater, right? So, you want to harvest water, natural water from the sky, and utilize it, right? So, you want to collect and store the rain, right? That is a part of sustainable design, right? A lot of times we don't really think about the sustainability of our home, right? No matter how small it is, as long as you're catching rain water, you are harvesting, right? And guess what? It is free, it is cheap, it costs very little. I mean, the setup will cost you a little, but at the end of the day, over time, it will pay for itself as it relates to your electrical bill. Even more electrical bill, your water bill, right? Guys, rain is about to fall. Actually, it just started fall. So let me just close this window. Give me a second. Yeah, so yeah, you're collecting and storing your rainwater. Here's the thing: whenever I am taking on a job for someone, within just checking to see if water is coming in. Yeah, so within the consultation section of my encounter with whoever it is that I'm dealing with, those are some of the questions that I ask during a consultation, right? I will ask the person, are you considering rainwater harvesting? Is this important to you, right? Solar harvesting, right? All of these things I normally speak about during a consultation to kind of get an idea of what the customer wants, and if they don't suggest it, then I will suggest it, just to make sure that they are aware, right? They're aware, because sometimes people don't necessarily know that, hey, I can do this until you suggest it to them. All right, so you want to collect and store the rain, right, and make your home sustainable, right? So within this discussion, we're going to be talking about the type of unit, right, or the type of rainwater, the type of rainwater collection system. Walk up, big up yourself, welcome in the building. You're not late, so that's okay. Yeah, so you want to know the type of, I'm going to be speaking to you about the type of rainwater collection system, right, or rainwater harvesting system, and you know which one you can probably select based on your budget, right? We're going to be looking at the pros and cons as well. You know, what are the pros and cons of rainwater collection or rainwater harvesting? And then we're looking at maintenance, why you should maintain, and then testing your water. So we'll be looking at that as well, all right, within this discussion today. So I want to make it an interactive discussion, so please, as you come in, leave a comment, tell me say you're there, tell me where you're tuning from, and you know, let's get the ball rolling. All right, appreciate you guys joining today. All right, so there's really two types of system. One of these system is the above ground system, right? So when you collect and store rainwater, but it is above ground. So that is the first system that you should be aware of as a homeowner, right? Whenever you're doing your design. But for me, this is more of a reactive system, in my opinion, right? It's not necessarily a proactive approach to it. It's more of a reactive approach. You probably build a house and you say, and you realize that hey, I need rain, I need to collect and store the rain. And then at that point now you decide to put in a rainwater system. So it's more of a reactive approach to it in my eyes. Where's my glasses? You see, here it is. My wife make sure somebody get my glasses, you know. And me not like wear it, or me not want to wear it. It's probably a watch, you know, and I wonder why me not have it on. Yeah, I got the new glasses, guys. Yeah, oh cool, Walker, you're tuning in from Mandeville, my place, you go yourself. Yeah, so you have the above ground system, and within the above ground system, you actually have another two. There's a two subcategory within the above ground system, right? And you have the dry system, which is what I'm showing you right now. Let me see if I can switch. Maybe it's a better idea on the other side, right? There we go. We have the dry system, and we have the wet system, right? I can tell that this is going to give me a little problem. Let me see if I can adjust myself a little bit better. There we go. That's a better approach, right? I think this is a better way to do it. All right, just give me a second. Let me just try and see if I can adjust this a little bit more. All right, so I'll work with that. Give me a second, guys. Let me just close this window. Them say Murphy's Law, right? Murphy's Law. But yeah, sure, gotta go on. Alright, so we have the above ground system, and within that system we have two subcategories, the dry and the wet. Now, this is the dry system, this is the wet system. What's the difference between the dry and the wet system? The dry system actually is where you run water, where you run your gutter directly from the house into your system, right? Your storage, your catchment tank. And what makes this unique is that once the water comes down here and comes into the downspout and goes into the system or the storage unit, the pipes become dry because the water run out of it already, right? That's really what it is, right? The wet system, on the other hand, you run the pipes from the building, and your catchment or your storage tank is away from the house, right? And the reason why it's called a wet system is because water is going to remain in here, right? So water is going to be in the line. Even when rain stop fall, water is going to be in the line, because what happens normally is that water will run down in the downspout or the vertical, right? And run towards the tank. But because the water, rain stop fall now, so it stop pushing the water in here. So you have a little bit in the line, which creates a seal. So that's the difference, right? That's the difference. This is reactive, as I said. In my opinion, it's a reactive approach. It's where you have already built and you are now considering rainwater harvesting, and as such you decide to install a rainwater tank, right, or a storage unit. Now, nothing is wrong with this approach, either of them. It's better late than never, right? It's better late than never. So as I said, this is the dry, this is the wet. The difference is that one is close to your building, one is far away from your building. The wet will have water in the line at all times, because obviously water will run down in the spout, go towards the storage tank. But when rain is not falling, some amount of water will be in the line, right? That's the real difference. This water run down and it really comes and run into the storage tank, but because this is now finished, water would, this would be dry. Alright, that's the difference. So you have the underground unit, which is the second type, right? Underground means that, you know, underground water tank. Everybody knows, I heard about that. But within this, you have the ready-made, which is the ready-made unit. Mario, big up yourself. Welcome in the building. Right, you have the ready-made unit, which is the plastic water storage tank. They are becoming more and more popular, and you have the concrete water storage tank, right? And both of them are underground. Whichever one you choose is really up to the affordability of each unit, right? So whichever one is most affordable for you, then that would obviously be the one that you would go with. All right. I personally have never done this one. I normally would recommend this because concrete lasts for a long period of time. Yes, the plastic does last for a pretty long time, but again, loading capacity, you can't really run anything over it, or you shouldn't be running anything over it. While the concrete, chances are, if you have something go over it, you know, it won't really damage it that easily. So that's the real difference between the both of them. All right. You have the DIY method. Now, remember I said it's never too late. Now, if you have a home and you can't afford to build an underground system, and you can't build or buy the big tanks, you can implement your own water storage system, right? You can buy a barrel, just make sure that, you know, harmful chemicals are not in them. It's very inexpensive, right? Water tanks are very inexpensive. You can do it yourself. You can do it as a project with your family, right? Your kids, or your partner, or even if you live alone, you can do it by yourself, right? You can implement a water storage system. And I hope that by the end of this video or this discussion, you would consider doing it for yourself, right? So this is a system. These are some systems that people use. This one, you know, it comes with a mesh at the top. This is just a regular drum the person buy. Again, this as well, and they cut the top, put a mesh over it, and they have the downspout coming into the catchment area. So, and this person even put a pipe at the end of it, so they can just turn on, use, and, you know, they're ready to go. This person did the same. I don't see anything as it relates to that one. So you can do it yourself. You don't need to spend, and you don't need to spend too much on it. You don't need to do it all at once. Imagine having this, you buy one drum this month and you say, boy, this is the project that I'm working on. Next month you can probably buy another drum after that. And a drum costs roughly about $2,000. Right? Last time I checked, a drum costs roughly about 2,000 Jamaican dollars. So, you know, you go out, you buy your drum, and you buy your little pipe fittings, and you put it together, and you catch your water. You buy two block, right? Buy two block, you put it on the block to make it elevated, and you put on your pipe fittings, and you go to go. You collect your rainwater, and you're able to go. That is rainwater harvesting, as simple as it gets, right? This here is where somebody is improvising, right? They probably don't have a roof that, you know, can catch the water. So what they're using a plastic bag, and they're being a little bit innovative and catching them water and storing it in here. Now this is the mesh that I was telling you about. You should always cover your water storage, your water catchment area. Cover it, right? As we move forward, I'll tell you a little bit more about that and the reasons why you should do that. All right. Now, the pros and cons of rainwater harvesting, right? rainwater harvesting, the pros and cons, right? Several containers can be attached to each other. Yes, exactly. So the containers can attach to each other, guys. And over time, you can have multiple of them. So you don't have to do it all at once. All you need to do is probably this month, as I said before, you buy that one drum, you make that your project, and you set up a system and you start to expand over time, right? When everybody are complaining about water, you have your water stored, right? That's really it, what it's all about. Now there are pros and cons. It's a cost reduction, right? It helps you to reduce cost as it relates to your water. Now, I hear people complaining about water all the time. I have complained about water before, the cost of water. Why? Because one, I think it was last year, I got a bill for 48,000 for water for 1 month. 48,000, right? Of course, I complained, and they ended up adjusting the bill, but they didn't give me back the money. The money did not come back in my hand. They took it over time. So the next couple of months, bill came with 0 on it, right? They distributed it accordingly. So it helped to reduce costs. It's a cost reduction. You can store as much water as you can. Store as much as you can. Store as much as you want. The amount you store is really up to you. And over time you can expand, right? And you can contract if you want. If you realize you have too much water, which is never really the case, you can downsize your system, right? It's cost effective to implement, depending on the system that is. So, a system where it is made of concrete, you have your water pump, your filter, your catchment area, all of them things. Yes, it's going to cost you a little penny, but you can also start small, right? And you can plan ahead so that you implement it early. So therefore, you don't design your home and then after you think about rainwater harvesting. You think about it from the get-go. You think about it from the start to consider the design. So in the design phase, you look at the opportunities of the site. Where is the best place to really put this? Where is the most convenient place to really put the system? And how far away from the system is your pump unit, right? So you try to make it put it at a convenient location, right? We're in the tropics, and that means we have water, we have rainfall most of the times, but it's also hot. So we do have times of the year when it is very dry, when we have water shortage, and as such, that is the reason why we need to store water when we can, so that when we don't have enough water, or the water commission don't have enough water for everybody, we have already stored water, so we have water available. That's really what it's all about, right? And it's a load reduction once we implement water harvesting, a water harvesting system in your property. When I say load reduction, it means that once your home is using water, it's a load on the system, right? So it's a load on the system. So when you are off the system, because you have done water, rainwater harvesting, it makes water available for other people. Alright, so that's the reason why you should really try and consider it. Alright, but there are cons. The cons is that it requires treatment. Don't just drink the water just like that. I mean, you can, but chances are it will be contaminated at times, and you should really treat your water and test it, right? Maintain it. You need to maintain the system, and it requires maintenance, right? So the reason why we don't think about it is because when we turn on that pipe, at your home that is connected to the main. Somebody else is maintaining it, right? So we are not thinking about the maintenance aspect of it, but it does require maintenance. When you have your water catchment system, you need to maintain it. So think about that once you're doing your system, all right? So we're tackling it from above coming right down to the system. Now Jamaicans, we build the house. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I lie, me I tell. Right? Tell me if I lie, me I tell. We build the house from what we kill fill up. And we never go up there yet and wash out the gutter. We don't go up there and clean out the gutter. We don't clean out the roof. So the gutter, when you look inside the gutter, is a mess, right? As Jamaicans, we rarely do building maintenance as a homeowner, right? We barely, it's bare minimum. What we will do, we will cut the land, put it this way. As Jamaicans, we do whatever we see. So if we not look on the roof every day, so that man do. We will sweep the yard, we will wipe out the house, we will dust somehow we'll dust down the figure them, and if the figure them will run at the back, dog and that the supper them. So we don't really do building maintenance. So unless it unless something stop work. So maybe one pipe start leak. So at that point we need to fix it. So therefore we fix it at that point. But otherwise we not considering the maintenance aspect of it. People, if you are implementing rainwater harvesting, exactly, we only think about it when the roof start leak. Right? We only think about it when the roof start leak. So if you are implementing rainwater harvesting techniques on your home, you need to maintain your roof, right? That one is true. My serenity, if it don't broke, don't fix it, right? If you're going to implement rainwater harvesting, you need to clean out your gutters and have a maintenance routine for your gutters, right? If you drive past some house, you will see leaves coming out of the gutter. That's not a good thing. That means that the water there, you can't drink that. Now, would you drink water from a gutter that looks like this? From below, it paints and look nice, everything look good. But when you go up top and look down in the gutter, this is what you're probably looking at. So you tell me, would you drink water that's coming from a source like that? Right? Comment in the comment section. Would you drink water that's coming from that? I know I wouldn't. Right? So it's very important. Clean your gutters. As Jamaicans, maintain out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind. Is what I mean? So I wouldn't drink water that's coming from a source like that, right? So if you're not maintaining your gutters, you can't really be doing rainwater harvesting because you're going to be drinking contaminated water, right? Insects love these type of situations. If you don't see it, then I know what I mean. I know what I mean. Right? Exactly. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sick. Alright, so guys, you need to be maintaining your rainwater system. So that means your gutters, which is the first point of collection, right? We need to make sure that it's well maintained. So you say you used to see dead lizard inside the tank. Wow, it shouldn't reach there. It shouldn't reach there. So how do you keep out leaves? How do you keep out debris from your system? You should have a downspout filter, right? So remember, you should be maintaining your system at least once a year. No, once a year, right? Clean out your gutter them at least once a year. Also, you need to ensure that you fix your system properly with the proper filters, right? So up at the downspout, the top of the downspout, you need to install a guard. Now this is a Z gutter leaf filter or strainer. That means it keeps the larger leaves, right? It keeps them out of the downspout. A lot of time what happens is that they get into the downspout and then they clog it, right? They clog it so the system cannot work, but in and of itself. So it is of no use. And we have to understand that when rain falls on your roof, it picks up a lot of things, right? And it's not only just the leaves, right? It pick up dust, it pick up dirt, it pick up dead insects, it pick up all kind of things, pollens, you name it, it will pick it up if it is on your roof. Especially if you live in an area where there's a lot of dust, right? There's a lot of dust. So you need to install the proper fittings to make sure that you are filtering your system. Now, I'm glad to say that my Serenity, cutting the big trees from your house. This is a ticklish one. This is a ticklish one. Why? Because I don't subscribe to cutting down trees. Maybe we prune them a little, yes, but not necessarily cut down the big trees. We prune it, right? But maintenance. With the trees being close to your home or close to the building, it provides shading, right? So that will overall keep the building cool. So I'm not necessarily saying that you should cut down the trees. I would not say that. What I'm saying is prune it and maintain the system. All right. So if you have trees close to your home, close to your building, maybe your maintenance schedule should be more frequent. So instead of once a year, you maybe do it twice a year or 3 times a year, right? So it will help you to manage it a little bit better, right? Bird poop, exactly. So you'll have bird droppings inside on the roof, which wash down into your system. So you will need to make sure that you're maintaining your system. All right. A clogged gutter will cause water to stay close to the house, leading to foundation problem. Yeah. I don't necessarily think so, but it's something to think about. Something to think about. So that's something to think about. Alright. So yeah, install Z gutter leaf filters. This will keep the larger leaves on top and not run down in the system. And then you want to install a downspout gutter guard or leaf guard. This will take out, this has a strainer inside of it. This has a strainer inside of it. So this is a downspout gutter leaf guard. This is the Z, right? So this is up at the roof, up at the gutter itself, right? On the just below the roof. So this will prevent the larger leaves from going into the system. And these down here now, this will remove the smaller solids, right? Smaller. solid. So you really want to install this. What will happen is the leaves or the particles will come and it will block the hole, and what the water will come and then wash it out outside of the system, so it doesn't continue inside the system. Right? This is a method that will help you. Saves you a lot of money. Additionally, it helps you to maintain the quality of the water that you're storing. So rain start fall, whatever is washing off of the roof, say it's dry, it would have more likely pass here because the fines would move first. But then when it comes down here, it clogs it. And what will happen is it will continue to run and wash out the fines out of the system, and until it is a little bit cleaner and here becomes unclogged, then it starts to go down into the system. Alright, that's how it works. Alright. You need to install, so you install your Z-guard, you install your downspout filter, you need to install a small silt trap, right? You need to install a silt trap, or you should install a silt trap, right? What does the silt trap do? It does exactly that, what its name suggests. It removes silt from the system. Now, you ever drive past any road, right? And you see where a lot of dirt would be in the drain or close to the side of the road, or have you ever seen them cleaning out the gutter, the road drain, right? The cross drain in the road, and you see them taking out a lot of dirt. Normally it's black and it smells horrible. It smells horrible, right? They're actually cleaning out silt out of the system, right? That's what they're doing. They're cleaning out the silt. So you having your own system at home, you need to clean it, or you need to ensure that you have a silt trap in place to remove the silt from the water, right? Or else it's going to go into the tank or the storage tank, right? Additionally, you want to have a mesh guard, so if anything passes the systems that you have in place before, or the filters, any solids or any leaves, it would be filtered out at this position before it goes into the tank, right? So you really want to have that in place. Again, you have technologies now around, so you have the plastic ones that they have now, so you can always implement that. Alright. The next thing that comes in the category of maintenance. Now, you need to clean out your tank, right? You should clean the tank. Now, growing up as a child, there is this tank in my neighborhood where I grew up, right? I was a child, and there's this one tank where everybody got draw water from. And now that I am a little bit more sensible, I realize that water should not have been probably drinking. You should not be drinking that water, right? Right? You should not be drinking that water. Good question. How to clean the tank? Good question. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, right? Now, when I remember the tank that we used to draw water from, inside of it green, right? Inside of the tank green, you probably have frogs in it, lizard in it. You probably have a whole bucket in it, and this this is the tank for the whole community. The water in the tank black, right? So you can see that this is not water that you probably should be drinking, but that was what was available in the community, and that's what you just have to use. You can look and see mosquito inside the water, right? Larvae. So you should be cleaning your tank. My opinion is every 3 years, at least once every 3 years. If you're using it frequently, you have other sources that say you should be cleaning it at least once a year. I think that's a little bit excessive, right? Once a year, but it is recommended, right? You have to inspect your system and look at it and clean it regularly, right? Now, cleaning it means that you're going to empty the system. Empty the system, get a pressure washer, go down in there and pressure wash your system, right? Pressure wash your system. If you're not familiar with 10% bleach, then you probably should stay away from it, but you can use 10% bleach and soap and pressure wash your system, soft wash it, kill all of the organics and then wash out the system, right? And you use your pressure washer and wash off your walls and stuff like that, so that it's clean. Because the reality is, when we build a tank, we forget about it. We just know, so we have water coming out of the house and that's it. We don't think about it. We build the tank, it's underground, good, we're done with it from this one. But you need to maintain it, right? It's very important, right? So wash or clean your water tank at least once every 3 years. All right, this is what inside the tank will look like. Now, the water that you get not going to look dirty unless you agitate it. Right? So you may think that it is clean water, but dirt is in there, silt is in there, debris is in there. So unless you go there and agitate the water, you'll see water that looks clean coming out of the system. Right? Now you should be filtering. You need to install a filter, right? So before the water enters into your home, it should be filtered. Now I saw a YouTube video or an Instagram video of a guy selling some filters, water filter, right? And he showed the process when he went to the person's home and opened the filter, and he took out something that looks like this, and this is the water, this is what is going into the home. Alright, this is what the filter looks like. So you can imagine the type of water that you're getting from the system, right? Water builds your immune system. Well said, right? So you need to be filtering the water that's coming into the home, right? Filter removes those fine particles that, those not necessarily going to settle. It's a last resort, so you need to have that in place. All right, so you should be filtering your water. Test and disinfect. Very important. We don't necessarily test our water, right? We don't know the quality of water that we have. Now, if you have a rainwater harvesting system, you as the homeowner, you should be testing and disinfecting your water, right? So every once in a while you grab a cup and some testing strips, bingo, right? So you can buy them, you can buy the testing strip, you get a cup of water from the system and you test it every now and again, right? And you see the quality of the water that you have in your system. Now, if it is that you test it and your reading is good, then it's all great. You're good to go. But what if it is not good quality water, right? What do you do at that point? That's when disinfecting comes into play. Right? So you as the homeowner will have you made the investment, right, to have your own catchment You store your water, but it doesn't stop there. You need to test it. When you test it, if it needs treatment, then you can go ahead and treat it yourself. You can test it yourself, you can treat it yourself. These are some standards, and this is according to the US EPA, right? So the volume of water to amount of bleach added, right? Now you have 6% bleach, 8% bleach, 10% bleach. I would not recommend the 10% bleach, right? Because that's very strong, right? So if you're going to use the 6% bleach, which is the regular bleach, then you use, there's a chart where they say you use 2 droplets, right? 2 droplets. Same thing with the 8.5%, you use 2 droplets. A gallon, you use 8 drops, right? Again, for the 8.25%, you use 6 drops, right? So you as a homeowner, it's very important to test your water supply or your water storage system, rainwater harvesting system, and when you test, if it is that it is not up to standard for your consumption, then you disinfect. It's important because there are a lot of waterborne diseases, right, that you don't really want to have affect your family, right? So you do that. Prevention. Cover your system. You should be covering the system, right? You don't want, again, we did the filtering from up top, right? And we don't want lizard, we don't want frog, we don't want mosquitoes in our system. So you cover it, right? Cover your system, right? Whether it be with a hard cover or what that's a soft cover, but you kind of want to keep it dark. The water supply, the water storage area, you want to keep it dark. So that's why you really want to cover it. In addition to keeping out insects and rodents, right? So you really want to cover it and keep it dark. Why you want to keep it dark? Sunlight equal algae. So when you see algae growing inside your water system, chances are it's exposed to sunlight, right? You can clean it, you can get it back to looking crystal clear, but it takes a little bit of effort. But again, sunlight, you don't really want sunlight in your water storage system, right? That's when algae starts to grow. So you said, so the water must empty to clean, but my community have limited water supply. Look at it this way. If you're planning to empty your system, you would not empty it in a time when there's a drought or in a time when you know that there isn't rainfall, right? So you should empty it and clean it when you know that it is a season when there's a lot of rainfall. So you empty it at that time because you can fill it back, right? So I'm not saying to you go and empty the tank when you know it's a drought in the place up. You don't empty your tank in the summer. This is just not a good idea, right? You empty it when in the rainy season. So you're going to have a lot of rainfall. You empty it, you clean it, and you have a lot of time, ample time to fill it back, right? And also you should have water storage, other smaller water storage. So if you're going to empty the system, you probably have a few drums around the place where you can have at least 2 weeks worth of water available to you before you empty the system and clean it, right? Empty it into large container. Wow, no, but well, it depends on the size of the storage system. But my point is, you should have, say you're going to empty your system. You're not going to empty your system and leave yourself without water, none at all. You empty your system, you have probably a couple drums of water stored, and you utilize that in the meantime while it is catching, right? So that's what you really have to. It's better than having dirty water drinking, right? Better than that. So it's half dozen of one and six of the other. You should have a screen, right? So mosquitoes again love water, dengue fever, what them call it, other kind of mosquito-borne diseases and other form. You don't want looking at your tank and you see a dead frog or lizard in your tank. So the mesh will keep out rodents from your system, insects and rodents from your system. So it's important to install mesh, right? Or screens, and it also helps to filter out the system. So if you have like the drum, then that will help you to keep out the rodents out of it and also leaves. So if you have the downspout, you want to have that mesh on top of it, on top of your drum, before you actually catch water, right? So that will keep out the leaves, keep out the rodents and mosquitoes as well. So mosquitoes can't go in the system and lay eggs, right? Yeah. So to recap, select the right system, the budget-friendly system, right? I show you multiple options. The DIY system, if you are start out, you're just a start out, you don't have the budget, you can do that yourself. $2,000, $3,000 for your drum. Pipe fittings another $1,000 or $3,000. And a hose, you can buy that buy a short length of hose, right? And you have the gutter already, a roof. Maybe you can install your, well, if you're handy, then you can probably install your own gutters. If not, then you can pay somebody to do it. But it's not impossible to do it by yourself, right? You install a system and you store what you can. Cut your coat to fit you, right? If you want to step it up to the dry and wet system, you can, because at the end of the day, because you never thought of it before, you know, when you were designing your home, doesn't mean that you can't do it after. It just means that it's a different approach for you, right? So don't think it is a lost cause. If you right now know that your home, within your home, you need water, there's a drought, there's a place in Crossroads that sells drums, right? There's a place in Crossroads. I'm trying to remember if it's Massey. It's on, what's that road beside? It leads off of Studio One Boulevard. It's right, if you go down, I can't remember that road. If somebody remember that road, just comment it in the comment section. I don't know if it's Massey, but once you're going that road that Island Grill is on, but go all the way down into Lincoln or Russell Road, that I think it's Russell Road. But on that road, there's a manufacturing place there. They sell soap, right? They sell cleaning liquids. You can go there and ask them to purchase a drum, and you will get a drum very cheap, probably $2,000, $3,000 or less, or $2,500, and you can build your own system. You wash out the drum, you buy two block now the cost you no money. You can even go beg 2 block, and you build your own system, right? It starts from there. It doesn't have to be a situation where you call a contractor to come and, you know, knock down wall and put up this and put up that. You can do it yourself, all right? It just means that you're going to have to really dedicate yourself to it, and you can get it done, trust me. Right? So it's not too late, right? select a budget-friendly system, right? Conduct routine maintenance. Don't just build it and left it. Don't just build it and say, boy, I hate this, right? As we normally do as Jamaicans. Don't do that. Maintain your system. You know that you have a water storage system, you do your regular maintenance. You check your silt trap, you check the inside of the drum, inside of the storage tank to see what is in there. If anything is growing, you do your testing of the water, right? You look at your gutters, make sure say your gutter clean. You don't want the source of your water to look worse than even your toilet. Right? So do routine maintenance. Right? If not, call somebody to do it. Right? Install filters. You want to have multiple area of filtration. So from your gutter up at the top down to where it goes into the house. Alright? Install filters. And lastly, test water quality. Right? Bad water can be a diarrhea. Right? You can have the runs. Trust me, I've been there. So test your water source, and when you test it, treat it, disinfect it. Alright? So if you didn't know, your brain is made up of 75% water. Your blood is 83% water. Right? Your heart, 79% water. Your bones is what? Your bones is 22% water. Your muscles is made up of 75% water. Your liver, 85%. Kidney, 83%. So in essence, I'm saying your body is made up mostly of water. So therefore, it is important to have water, right? Because water is life. Therefore, if you're going to consider harvesting water, you need to make sure that you're inspecting, you're maintaining, and you're catching and doing it in a safe way. And I hope that this video will help you to do so, or even get you to start thinking about it, to get you to start thinking, okay, what other things do I need to know to then start, go off and do your research, right? So with that said, we've come to the end of this live. I do hope that you learned something today. Guys, remember, I like recommendations, right? So if it is that you're living overseas and you're thinking of buying a property in Jamaica, I can do your drone survey for you. I can do your site inspection. I can do your site analysis, right? And I appreciate you hitting the like and subscribe and sharing this video with other people, right? My Serenity, you're most welcome. I really enjoyed this video, right? I personally enjoyed doing this one. Yeah, so if you're doing your drawings, remember, you can recommend AJAWI, right? So you can check out my website. On my website, I show you the services that I offer as an architectural technologist. This is a part of being an architectural technologist. An architectural technologist actually immerses himself or is more interested in the technical or the technological side of things, which is what I just showed you, right? How the building systems work. Yes, we understand the design and we can do the design, but we delve a little bit deeper into the process to know about how things come together, how the different systems work, and as such, help us to design for you, the homeowner, right? So if it is that you're ever looking to design your home, you can always reach out to me by visiting my website, www.AJAWIConstruction.com, right? I appreciate those that are part of the AJAWI TV family. Rate you, love you, Thank you so far. You guys have been really loyal, right? And I just want to say big up for yourself. I appreciate it. What else am I say? Let me see who they are. Let me see who they are so we can give them a big up before we cut. Right? My Serenity, big up yourself. You're there. Walk up. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Respect for that share there. Make sure you not hit the like button. Alright? Who else there? Mark Q Spence, you're always there. Big up yourself. I appreciate you being here. Alright? Mr. Weed. Left it till Radam. So yeah man, them left the water storage system or the water catchment system till while them drink it and you hear Radam, they dropped out. Right? So don't do that, people. Maintain your water harvesting system. It's important. Right? Normally when you turn on that pipe, a lot of maintenance has been done to the water that you turn on the pipe and catch a cup of water. When you catch a cup of water, best believe a lot of maintenance has been done to that water when you are getting a cup. Alright? Let's see who they are. Who is there? Who is there? Who is there? Mario, big up yourself. This a man who always there, you know. Bless up, Mark Spence, bless up yourself too. Guys, as you can see, I have moved into an office space so that I can help returning residents, I can help serve you guys better, and I can serve Jamaica on a whole a little bit better. Your support means a lot to me because your support means that you're supporting my business, right? So when you share, when you like, when you recommend me to a client, it means the world to me. You are the lifeblood of my business, so I want to say thank you. If you are doing drawings, if you're a technician and you're doing drawings, remember I do prints as well. I am not biased. I try to serve everybody. So if you're a technician and you're doing drawings and all of that, and you want to use our facilities, we have discounted rates for everybody that's a part of the AJAWI family. So you can make use of it. Alright? Big up yourself, guys. I'm heading home now. So thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Big up yourself. Alright? Next time.